Okay, now let's create a more sophisticated role-based access control system using groups. First, let's create groups for different administrative roles. Sudo group add to add a group, and let's add 3 groups, namely web admins and DB admins, and let's add, let's say, backup admins. Now let's create users for each group. Let me clear the screen. We'll create a user with useradd command, -m and -g parameters, M for creating home directory for the user, and G for primary group. So let's make it web admins -s to set login shell to bash. So we'll type bin bash here and specify the user web user, let's say. Now we can go ahead and set the user's password with passwd command for web user. Let's make it 123 for the simplicity. We can check the user with the id command, id web user, and he is a member of web admins group. So user exists and is in the right group. Let's do the same for the DB user. So that'll be DB user, and he'll be a member of DB admins group. Again, we'll type sudo passwd DB user, set the password, and ID DB user. And finally, we'll do the same for the backup user. Let's change the group for a backup user. That should be backup admins group. Oops, seems like I made a typo when creating backup admins. Let's find this command. Yes, I've missed a here, so backup admins. Now let's get back to the command when adding a user, creating a user and adding him to the backup admins group, setting password with passwd command for the backup user. Now we've got 3 groups and 1 user for each group. And by the way, we could change the password with echo command. So we could type echo. Let's say we want to change the password for the DB user, and we want to set it to DB123. Then we pipe it to sudo change passwd. Now if we su to DB user, we'll provide DB123. And we can work as DB user. Let's exit the session. Now let's create role-specific sudoers configuration. Let me clear the screen. So again, we'll be using this sudo command -f, and as you remember, it's etc sudoers with 1 r .d directory, and let's make it web-admins. Now we'll create a file specific for web admins. So I'll press I to enter insert mode here in Vim and add the following command. Web administrators can manage web servers and configurations. So let's add % for web admins. Oops, I made a typo again. Web admins. So any user in the web admins group. This %web admins means any user in the web admins group. Then all, so any user in this group can use this rule on any host. It's useful in multi-server environments. Equals, in parentheses, root, so they can run commands as root, and then no passwd, no password required. And then what they can do, they can run bin systemctl asterisk nginx, and they can do the same for bin systemctl asterisk apache2. The next line will be %web admins all root no passwd with 2 s here, colon, oops, 1 s should be uppercase, usr, let's say bin nano, and then they can modify etc, nginx, all files here, and user bin nano var 3w asterisk. The next line, again for web admins, all as root, no password for user as bin nginx -t. And finally, again, web admins, all as root, and we have equal missing here with no password for user bin sort bot. Let's save this file. I'll press colon, press escape, press colon, WQ to write and quit. And by the way, this -f parameter, it's for specifying the file name to add it. In this case, we are adding this etc sudoers.d webadmins directory. And by the way, this sudo automatically checks syntax. If you made a typo, it'll warn you and let you fix it. Let me clear the screen, and let's rerun this previous command and make some typo here. Let's say we have this equal missing here. Let's save it, and now we've got this warning. Web admins all and visitors shows us that there is an error here after all. What now? We can press enter here, and we can select, for example, edit sudoers file again, exit without saving changes to sudoers file, or quit and save changes to sudoers file, which is dangerous. Don't do this. So we'll press E, hit return, and correct a typo. Let me insert equal here and save the changes. Now there is no warning. Okay, let's create similar file for the db admins. So again, we'll type vsudo -f etc sudoers.d and name it, for instance, db admins. Let me insert the pre-created content for database administrators here. So again, it's quite similar to the previous one, but here we are using this all equals Postgres for the Postgres user, and here MySQL for MySQL user. Let's press escape, right Q to save the file, and we'll do the same for the backup-admins. Again, I for insert mode. Let's insert the following content, pre-created content, so they can run rsync, tar, zip, unzip, bin mount, bin unmount, umount, find. And here the members of backup admins group get 60 minutes of password grace period instead of the default, which for example could be 5 minutes. Okay, let's save it, escape, write WQ, and verify all the configurations with sudo -c. So as you can see, we get bad permissions error here. Bad permissions should be mode 0440. So it means security risk detected. File permissions are too open. 0440, it's readable by root, readable by group, not writable by anyone except root.